It's Thursday morning and I'm heading to my first panel. So got up at 8, the panel's at 9:30, so this makes a big difference to the way Comic Con usually works. It's a Nerd HQ panel and it's one of the ones that you pay for. It's an offsite event and that basically means that it's not part of Comic Con, it's just a private hire of an external venue, and they're just running panels out themselves. Now the charge, it's Zach Levi doing it and he's doing it for charity, so all the money that you pay for the panels goes to, I can't remember what charity it is. There's $20 for a panel, but it means you have a guaranteed seat, and I missed out on a bunch of the panels that I actually wanted, but I got this one, it's Expendables 2. Now there's one in Hall H later, but there's going to be, what was it, 8,000 people? I can't remember how many people fill Hall H that I said last year, but this one will be a couple of hundred. Now it's only Dolph Lundgren at it, none of the other ones. Well, Dolph Lundgren and a few other names that I don't recognise. So yeah, Nerd HQ panel in about 15 minutes. Well, that's the first panel done. It's going to be a bit disappointing. It was the staff managing the queue, the security staff, just didn't know what was going on, and were too lazy to find out. They just made up answers and told people to queue in the wrong place. And panel started late because it was the first panel of the day, first panel of the whole convention for them. So it started late, finished earlier than I thought it was going to be. So we ended up only with a 20-minute panel. But overall, it was, you know, very small, intimate venue. Very small, intimate venue, and I was like third row, so you know, it was just great to be sitting up that close to the actual panelists and not have to just look at them on a screen. But yeah, don't know if it was worth the $20, but it was definitely a better experience than a typical Comic Con experience. And one other thing, it's actually started raining now, which is, I've never seen at Comic Con before. The first year I was here, it was just ridiculously hot. It was unbelievable how hot it was. The last few years weren't too bad, although I got sunburned queuing outside for a panel last year. This year it's looking nice, it's going to be overcast and cloudy, which is fine as long as it's not too warm, but it's actually started raining. This is the second time I've accidentally left the house without my Comic Con pass, but both times I haven't needed it. So it's Geek and Sundry I'm heading down to now. It's another offsite event. So I think this is the way Comic Con's going for a lot of people. You know, you don't need to buy a badge, and you don't need to fight the crowds to get into panels and stuff. Some like Nerd HQ you're going to have to pay big money for and be very, very lucky to get tickets for some things. But Geek and Sundry is, you know, it's just free in, and they have plenty of things going on now over the next few days as well. I was too late for the meet and greet with Felicia, which it really was, it was just an autograph session. Because I misread the Geek and Sundry page, and the address that they listed was for something else they're doing with YouTube Live. So by the time I got way up to where the Geek and Sundry thing is, I missed out on that. But I stayed on for the Q&A, and then we watched, got to see a preview of next week's tabletop, which was one of the best yet. It was so good. It's one of the sort of old school type role-playing games where you just make up the story as you go along. And you know, they're never going to be able to do D&D or any of the long campaign type games, but I don't know what this game is called, but it's sort of like a series of small scenes is the way it's done. So it was hilarious, very, very good. It's part of a two-parter, so they only showed us the first one, unfortunately, so I have to wait like everyone else now for a load of weeks before seeing the rest. And after that there was a Celebrate the Web panel with some web content producers, Q&A with them. So again, just with sort of loving web video, it was really good to see that. And I've really just spent most of the day there. They were giving away free AMD processors, but the only thing, I mean, it would be good to have a free AMD processor. They're worth about $120, I think, but you have to go and buy a motherboard, and I have enough components to build a computer around it, but really I don't need another computer. So I'm heading down now to the convention centre for the first time today. I got my pass this time. And Jackie Chan, yeah, how did I not know Jackie Chan is at this convention? Or at least he's presenting a film that he directed and starred in, so I assume he's going to be here. Didn't actually say he was definitely here on the site. But CZ12 or something it's called, so I didn't recognise the name, but yeah, apparently that's he's in Hall H. So I'm going to go down, take a look and see what the queue like in Hall H now. It'll be the first time today that I've actually went anywhere near the convention centre, and it's already, what is it, 2 o'clock now?
did, but I
I think they could hear that in Philly.
To have been part of that particular kind of filmmaking where you got a chance to actually feel the rocks, feel the cold water, hang from a helicopter. It was quite an adventure.
Well, and that very spirit is what leads to Expendables, and now to Expendables 2. In a way, this is a real hearkening to that era, and does that make it special for you?
It is. It's kind of an homage to that era because I'm a product of it, and many men like me, we've been very fortunate to have been part of a kind of a genre that it just cropped up really in the early 80s, and I don't know how much longer it's going to last. And I thought, let's just try to keep it going as long as we can and bring back some true badasses and some male pattern badness, and let's see what happens. One of my fellow brothers in the hard R business, a fella who really does it right, an incredible man, someone that I've really grown to respect over the years because he's not just physical, he's a brilliant guy and very, very compassionate and a true one-of-a-kind movie star, the likes of which we'll never see again, my friend Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm back. It's nice to have you. It's nice for you to be back. It's good to see you. What do you think watching your reel? That's pretty exciting to go back through memory lane.
Well, I was right away, competitive. I'm sorry, I said it was.
Oh, really?
Sly has killed, 288 people. I killed 289 people. Yeah. We always were competing. I mean, the last 3 decades was always like, who killed more people? Who did the most brutal killing? Who was shooting more people? Who had more muscles? Who had more oil on their muscles? Less body fat and all those kind of things. So it's nice to kind of now work together and with such unbelievable stunts. Look at this here. It's really great.
Well, tell us a little bit about making this film and working together for you guys and for the whole team. I mean, was this one? It must be one for the books for you.
Well, I mean, it was really fun to go to Bulgaria and to work with this great action. I mean, we have an assembly of the best action stars, I think, in the world in this movie. It's like kind of like 10 James Bonds running around in the movie and creating all this unbelievable action. And it was also, I have to say, I was very appreciative about the fact that when I came in, they all treated me kind of like, well, we know you've been out of the business for 8 years, let me show you how to load a gun again. And Arnold, here's how you throw a punch, okay? Don't hit us, but just, throw the punch into a little miss and all those kind of things. And here you kick, how you kick it. So it was really like a how-to the first hour, but then you realized that they didn't lose it all. That I could get right back into the action and shoot the gun, load the gun, and do all those kind of things, or take a knife out and kill a guy and cut his head off, and all those things. So, all the fun things, I didn't forget. And you wish you could do some of those things when you're in politics, but I mean, you can't.
That would be a different kind of cutback for sure.
But it's really amazing to see you gaining this 25 pounds of muscles this last few years, and your acting is incredible. So it was really terrific, and I'm very proud of working with you again on this movie here. So congratulations.
I can die now. Arnold, like my muscles. I can die now.
I hope you don't take it the wrong way.
Hey baby. I got a man crush going on. I'm sorry. It's a bromance.
So I missed out on Jackie Chan because I didn't realise he was here. He was at a panel until it was too late, so by the time I started queuing, his panel had already started. But I did manage to get into Hall H for the Expendables 2 panel, and it was brilliant. Really good. Seen the panel for the first one 2 years ago when Stallone was there and Bruce Willis sort of stuck his head in for 2 minutes, but this time Arnold Schwarzenegger was there as well. So seeing both of them on stage together was sort of worth the queue, and it was only a 45-minute queue. I've queued for a lot longer and got a lot less. So really happy about that, and if that's the only panel I do the whole convention, then that's fine by me. It's Thursday night, so it's Woodstock again, and this year I've got my ticket again. If you remember last year's vlog, I got a bit bored towards the end of it. It just went on too long. It was really good, I very much enjoyed it, but it went on too long. So I think this time, if I get bored, I'm just going to leave. But if I do stick it out, I'll be able to stay for the autographs this time, because thankfully I don't have to get my car out of the car park. And there are going to be a few other people at the gig that I know. I won't be sitting with them though, but it won't be just me on my own this time.
You and I are kind of like Starbuck and Apollo, in that after all this unresolved sexual tension and emotional investment, time and money, this is going to end in an anticlimactic way. You and I are kind of like Mulder and Scully, in that you're paranoid and even when you're right, I look like the smart one. You and I are kind of like Counselor Troy and Riker, in that I'm good at what I do and you are usually useless. See, I switched it up that time.
I brought WW out here on the stage. I can't call. I've called you WW for 25 years. 25 years. So that he could assist me in one of my favorite pastimes, which is, right you are, sir, the singing of the Reading Rainbow. Sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in our book, the Reading Rainbow. That was lovely. That's a real thing that just happened. Allow me to recreate for you a scene which I vividly recall. Me. Hello. Is this the place you come to when you wish to run wild? Burly man with a Wilford Brimley mustache at the entrance to a place where men run wild. Oh, indeed it is. Aloha hail, fellow. Me. Oh, thank the gods! I felt a need to run wild, a compulsion whose origination I know not, and I finally found the place in which to do it! Burly man with a Wilfred Brimley mustache at the entrance to a place where men run wild. That's fine news, friend! Fine, fine news indeed! Just show me your erection and I'll grant you entrance to the place where men run wild. Me. Ah, nuts.
It's now 2 AM, so this is the first time I've actually been able to stay out past midnight at Comic Con because I don't have to pick up my car or get my car out of the parking at midnight. So yeah, I've been after Woodstock, which I actually stuck it out this year right to the end. What was it, 4.5 hours? So it didn't seem to drag as much as last time, but it wasn't as tired as it was last time, so maybe that had something to do with it. And after that we went to the Geek and Sundry party in, I can't remember the name of the nightclub, so I was able to stay there now and not have to leave. And it was really good, really good fun. And there were quite a few celebrities there actually. It was a bit like Nerd HQ last year. This was a sort of low-key party for a lot of people, apart from Joss Whedon, he was the big name that was there and still dancing the same way I remember him dancing at Nocturnal 2K years and years ago. So, or was that 3K? Whichever one it was anyway, he dances the same. So yeah, really good party, really enjoyed it, but it's a much later night than I'm used to now, so I'll see what time I get up tomorrow. I may just not bother getting up early, have a lie-in. Some people are getting up early for the Firefly panel, are going to try to get in line for the Firefly panel early, and that's going to be one of the really popular ones of the weekend. And unfortunately it's not in Hall H either, that has a big capacity. It's in Ballroom 20, which has a fairly big capacity, but it's not going to hold everyone that wants to go to it. So the Firefly reunion panel is one of the big ones that everyone wants to do this year. So some of them are going to that, but I've seen all the Firefly guests so many times now that it's not going to... I'm sure it would be a great panel to get to, but for me, it's not worth getting up really early now and just being wrecked for the whole day just to get to that panel. So I may just have a lie-in, which is, again, another unique thing for me at Comic Con. I just haven't done that before. I've always been up and done everything. So, yeah, 2 o'clock, just after 2 o'clock, going to head back. I'm actually going to edit a wee bit before we go to sleep, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'll just see how I make it up as I go along.